In this video, we are going to look at a flame test, and I'm going to pull up a document. This is page 6 of the qualitative analysis lab, and it says run a flame test on each of the solid cations and then record the color of the flame. It talks about being careful not to contaminate the burners by dripping chemicals in there. And it gives you some instructions on page 7 with a little more detail. So here it is. You're going to put a pea-sized amount of solid cation on the paper. You're going to dip a wet Q-tip in the distilled water, and then you're going to it should stick when you put that Q-tip into the solid cation. Okay, you put it in the flame. It takes a little bit, but we're going to kind of show you how that works, and you can observe any colors that you're going to get. You can always retest as needed, and then do proper disposal of that by just letting it not be hot anymore, and then ultimately throwing it away at the end of class period. Okay, and a big thing is to avoid the dripping into the Bunsen burner. Okay, I'm going to stop the share, and we will go right to a video with this. I got to just line up my computer, so bear with me a second. And let's see. First thing I'm going to do, I think that's going to work right here. Move this a touch in closer, and that should work pretty good. And I'm going to get my Bunsen burner. I'm opening that up. I'm going to grab a match. And probably before I do that, I should probably get some of these solids right here. And we kind of angle this so you can see what I'm doing. Let's try this. I'm going to get a little half sheet or a quarter sheet of paper, and I'm going to get 2 samples. One of them is I'm going to take some. This looks like a copper compound. Technically, it's copper nitrate, but the nitrate really is not an active ingredient. Okay. You know, solid copper does not look blue like this. I don't know if you can see this blue color. So I'm going to get a small pea-sized amount there, and I'm putting it on the paper. And then what I'm going to do is, since I'm using the same scoop, I would wipe it. Actually, I got a vial left over of some silver nitrate. Again, we're going to do that with silver, and I'm going to do that one too. So I'm going to do a demo with 2 of them. And here we go. So the first one I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is light my match. And so I put my match about halfway up. I don't want to get too close to the top of that. And then I have if I look here, there's a gritty surface there. I put my thumb about halfway through. I turn on my Bunsen burner, and then I point it away from me, and then I'll just light this Bunsen burner. So there's a flame. I think you can see that. Now what I'm going to do is grab a Q-tip, pour a little distilled water on the tip. And if it goes on the lab bench, you can do it over the sink. It doesn't matter too much. And let's just see what happens right here.
This is just an announcement.
Okay.
The English department is meeting right now.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the edge of the flame where there's kind of dark blue. And I don't want it right in the middle because that's just where the gas comes out. Now, it'll take a while. Notice it's burning blue because of the methane, but you might see a tint of green showing in there. I don't know how this is going to show on the video, but I'm seeing it to be quite green. Okay, so you can see that green. This is a very distinctive thing. Now notice it's starting to drip. I don't want that to drip into the Bunsen burner. Okay, so to me, this one's pretty obvious. It's giving that color. It didn't take too long to do that. Let's just say I sat there and burned it for a while at some point. And again, I'm not sure what you're going to see with colors on the video, but it's a pretty distinctive green right here when I'm doing this. Okay. Eventually, I start burning it, and the green will wear off. I'm just kind of letting this go. And it'll probably start burning more orange. And that's really just the orangish or yellowish orange. Now, that is really just the Q-tip burning right there. So that orangish fire on what you're going to see on this, but that's going to be more just the Q-tip. So if you see the dark blue, okay, that's the methane. If you see the orangish yellow, that's probably just the Q-tip, but you're actually looking for the chemical of that. I got a hot thing. I'm just gonna put that on there and maybe just show that one more time because it's kind of fun. And we'll just do that real quick. So again, I take this, I just roll it in this sample and I get a little bit on there. I'm probably gonna put a little more water on there. Okay, it should stick. Some of the things should stick. Hopefully you can see it sticking a little bit. And I'm going kind of by the outside in that flame. It might take a little bit for you to see color. Not seeing much yet. Now I'm starting to get that distinctive green color, which would be kind of the copper flame test. That one's probably the most obvious and most pronounced flame test that you get. Okay, the one flame test I want to show you is silver because you're going to do the copper flame test in 5 of the things. I'm not going to have you do the silver one, but I'll just demonstrate that because silver is expensive. And reason number 2 is silver nitrate stains black, and there's going to be silver all over the place if you're dripping these solids and things like that. So I'm going to show this one. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to dip it into my silver nitrate that I have here. And then I'm going to put it on here. And kind of getting an orangish, almost like a little sparkling thing. It's not a very distinctive test. You know, the difference between burning a Q-tip and what you see with this silver is not much. So to me, it looks orangish with that. Now I'm probably burning the Q-tip, maybe a little bit of sparkle. And I think I'm going to try that again with another piece. Okay, so one more try. I put this in here, wet a Q-tip, get this silver on it right here. And I'm going to put it on the side of the flame. It takes a little bit for the heat to kind of evaporate the water and then get at the chemical. Kind of a yellowish, orangish flame. Now, is that the Q-tip burning or is it the silver? Pretty hard to tell. I think it's the silver originally, and then it's probably the Q-tip burning. And silver is not a very distinctive test. So do you need the flame test for identifying anything? No, all the other tests should help you identify your cations, but the flame test can, at least in some cases, be very distinctive and very helpful. In the case of silver, it's probably not going to be all that helpful. Okay, right now it looks like I'm just burning Q-tip, and that's what I have going on here. So that's a little bit with flame tests and the process and procedure for that. Again, I wanted to show you the silver one, which looks maybe a little orangish and maybe a little sparkle, but not a very distinctive type of test. Thank you for watching.